Okay, so just for the hell of it, because why not, I have decided to make a light installation video. We'll see how this ends up, but we are actually going to try and go by the instructions, and I'm going to try and give you guys the best breakdown I can to install the lights on the TRX4 Ford Bronco 2021 edition. So, here we go. I know there's other videos on YouTube and they have a lot of views, but you know, why not do my own version here? So we got the body. First step, if you're new to this, take the body off. You're not going to start with the body. The instructions say we're going to start with this module. It says the power module installation. So what you're going to find in the box is your lights, dielectric grease, another set of lights. This little baggie is going to have the zip ties, the wires, and some screws. And then this will be our power module, and this will mount to the inside of the body. So the instructions say, to start off with, we're going to start with this. This plate is right there in the box. It says to use these 3 screws. We take a quick look at this diagram. You see how they have that? So we're going to screw that plate into the chassis using these mounting holes as per the instructions. And then from there, we need to remove the receiver cover box right here. We're going to remove this cover and remove this cover. And there's a lot of wiring that's going to need to take place here, but we're going to try and get that all in. So first, let's mount this up and see how it fits. Okay, so I just realized I might not have been showing you. We're going to start with these 3 screws. Those 2, the longer and the shorter with the kind of round head. And then this screw is going to go right in there, that center hole, and that is a tapered screw. And you'll see the indent in the plate itself. But the plate has 2 little round things that slot right into the pegs. It should kind of just fall right into place. So from there, we have the center on, and now we're going to take the module, and I'm going to look at the instructions. I think it wants me to put it this way, and we're going to mount that using those 2 screws, and the long screw is going to go in the rearmost hole, and the short screw is going to go in the frontmost hole, the holes I'm pointing to. So we'll do that next, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so that's what the controller should look like all mounted, at least according to the instructions. Short screw, long screw with kind of round top head. Tapered head screw goes in the center under the module. Now, I hate to be cutting factory stuff off. Yes, some of you might ridicule me for that, but I'm going to take this tag off because, as you can see, this just takes up how much room under the body. So yeah, I'm going to cut that off, look at the next step, and then I think it will be to plug it into the receiver, but we will see how they want us to do that. All right, according to the instructions, all they want us to do is plug this cable in. That is your power module cable. So just kind of tuck it under here where it's going to be a little bit out of the way for you. You don't have to remove this or anything, but the power module is now installed. All right, next step according to the instructions is we're going to put the power cable and get that run over to the receiver. Now, they want us to unbolt the battery tray. We are going to run the cable under the battery tray, use a zip tie, attach it to the pre-existing wires, and then plug it into our module here. As we can see here, here's kind of the figures, here's the screws, so we're here. That's what they want us to do. Now, conveniently, very appropriately, they have these little caps over the ports, which is really cool. So according to that, there's a blue wire. Sorry, I'm reading messages too. So I'm going to assume it's that big wire, and we are going to be routing that over. Yep, there's the motor wires as well. So first step, we're going to take out these screws. 1, 2 there. And yep, that's it. And we're just going to lift up the battery tray a little bit, and then I'll show you where to plug that wire in and how I see best fit to route it. Here's that power cable plugged in as per the instructions. And you remove those two screws, and this is what you're revealed with. Okay. Zip tie, make sure your wire is away from these holes. These two holes are where the battery tray screws into, and when we set it back down, we want to make sure the wire compresses and doesn't get scrunched unnecessarily anywhere. It says use an included zip tie, which you can see right there. That is the included zip tie, and then we will bolt the battery tray back down using the two included screws. Okay, the battery tray is screwed back down. I grab each side of the wire and I have a little bit of movement, which tells me the wires aren't pinched. We'll just kind of move this out of the way for now, kind of put it over, not binding with this speed selector servo, but it is over here. The next step is to take off the receiver cover box and the receiver cover for the wires using this screw, that screw, and that screw, this screw, and this screw. We'll get this open and then we'll best determine the routing for this, because this is going to go up through here and plug into the receiver, and then we're going to have to put that all back together. But if you're smart, you can jump ahead, obviously, but this is for complete beginner installation. So next step, I'll take off the receiver box, look at a little bit of wire routing, and show you what we're looking at. Okay, so some of you are wondering why I'm not showing you why I'm doing this, because I only have one camera. But this is kind of a step-by-step guide with what you'll be greeted with, obviously, after you do the steps that I'm taking. So you take the receiver box off, you have your 3 screws and your 2 screws. There is going to be silicone on your wire, dielectric grease or whatever it is, on your wire hold down cover. That is to help the seal. Now, you're going to be greeted with this mess. So what I've done is not much. I just want to show you I'm in the middle of the hard part, and I want to give you a tip on how best to do this. Now, this bunch of wire will be pushed down in there. You have to route through this connector with this wire through the opening in the receiver box. Now, I find the best way to do that, pull out this bunch of wire, stick the wire down, kind of wiggle it, push it through, and the best thing that's going to help you is having one of these handy. So once it's through there, you all know how hard it is to get in there and grab. So just take your pliers, kind of pull it through, and now you can see we're through. So next what we're going to do is this plug needs to get over to here, but then the task of wire routing. So I think I'm going to use another zip tie and zip tie this wire to this bracket here. I tried fishing this cable through that bracket, didn't work, kind of hard. I have to be careful of the receiver box seal. So we'll just get this fished through and I'll show you how I have it when I'm done. So that was way easier than I thought it would be. When you're in here, the wire is actually kind of already bent in a way that it just follows the contour, comes down, and you're gonna want to slip it in that open slot that you'll see right there. Kind of get it up to the point where it goes from, you know, vertical to horizontal. It'll be fed through and it'll just kind of curve around and it'll plug in really easy to the TSM port. So next, a little bit of wire organization. Now you just want to kind of shove the bunches that were already bunched back down. Be careful when you put this on not to pinch any wire, but next we're going to put the receiver cover back on, at least I think. Okay, I was correct. I've actually done a lot of steps in one. Here it tells you to remove some receiver wires if you need to, which you can. Also, add another silicone bead of grease to the receiver box. I don't think I'm going to do that. You should do that. I just don't want to open that the little bag of silicone. If you're going to use the vehicle, definitely do that. So yeah, plugs in really neatly. It says use supplied zip ties to bundle the wires neatly to the vehicle. Make sure it's not binding anywhere. So that's very important. So you can use the zip ties, but other than that, we're just going to reorganize the wires at this point and reinstall our covers and zip tie this wire up so that it's not binding with anything, and we should be good on this step. We will then move on to the next step. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Do note to install the wire cover first and then the receiver box. The receiver box actually kind of fits over the wire cover. At least I think that's how it's been on my old TRX4s. So just doing it per the instructions. Install the wire cover first and then the receiver box. Receiver box is back on. That actually went really easily. I don't think I'm going to use any more zip ties because this is routed where I want. We put one zip tie under there and the wire just accidentally or on purpose, whichever one Traxxas decided, routes nearly perfectly. Sits right beside the receiver box, doesn't get in the way of anything. The next step Traxxas has us do is turn the car around. We're going to be doing the motor wiring next, which is this red and black wire with the bullet connectors. So step one is we're going to unplug these wires, and then we'll see how these go in. We're going to plug these in. This is the motor sensor wire, which is going to go into this port in the receiver. When we have those plugged in, we're going to use zip ties to secure this nicely to the vehicle. So unplug the motor wires, and we will plug these in into their corresponding spots. Okay. So you unplug the bullet connectors, slip these bullet connectors on, red to red, black to black, and then Traxxas says use the included zip tie, and in their picture they have a zip tie right around this plug. I don't know if you can see that there. See that right there? So you just kind of got to work the wire around and see where it fits best. I tucked mine right up under the module, put a zip tie right where they did, and kind of ran it back to where it's not in the way of anything. As far as the instruction manual goes, that includes the installation of the module on the vehicle itself. Next, we move to the body. We will be installing the front and rear lights and then the distribution block inside the body. Front light installation. So we have our kits. This is what's left. Put your truck off to the side or hanging off a table like I do. First step in the light installation, per the instructions, is we will be removing screws, and a lot of them. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. These two, these front two, and these. So everything to get this front assembly off so we can access the headlight buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side, so 10 screws total. Okay, the 10 screws are removed. Now, best thing for you to do if you're just getting started, lay your screws out on your workbench exactly how they came out of the car so you know. Pick a top and the bottom. These are the sides. This is the center side, which is right there. This is the top, as in this front, and these are the bottom. Those two go right there. So next, what they say is going to happen is this is going to come out. Lay that to the side. As you can see, they give you an exploded view. And then, supposedly, the headlight buckets should pop out themselves. So, let's yeah, I got to see how that works. Or I just take out that screw. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, so just gotta remove that screw, of course. Ooh, I do not like that at all. Okay, next step. Here is a headlight bucket. It is saying take out that screw and that screw. There's a piece of paper in there. We're gonna replace the piece of paper with the LEDs themselves. Front two screws removed. As you can see, the little left insignia. I'm going to show you this side, and then I'm going to do the other side myself. So, take this off, piece of paper, comes out, and there's your little assembly. Put that off to the side, and then we need to get the LEDs themselves. So, we'll start here. Captain's Log, Journal 607. The lights are connected. I did not know that. So we're going to do the same procedure, but the lights are connected, so we need to remove both headlight buckets and install the light in the bucket as such, and then put the cover back on, put the two back screws in, and then we will insert the lights back into the body. The screws removed, little plastic pieces taken out, the wires are in. Next step is we're going to take this and we're going to reinstall it in the body. So you'll have to do some finagling, I saw, to get these lights back in because they kind of pop out kind of hard, but we'll just press them into the body, and after that we'll use the included zip ties and supposedly the wiring diagram to show us where we should zip tie the wires for the best organization. Alright, so per the wiring diagram, reinstall in the same order, and the zip ties are right where our diagram wants them. Make sure to follow this and route the wire under, as I didn't do, so I wasted a zip tie under the clipless body mount clip here. So this is what it should look like per the instructions, I'm pretty sure. 2 zip ties there, over, under, zip tie on that little latch there, and let that wire dangle until we get the box installation. So there is the front headlights installed. Next step, turn it back over. Looks like we're installing the rear lights. So the rear lights don't take as much bracketry disassembly to get to. It's just these two, 1, 2 screws on each side, and they should come out. Here is our diagram for that. And this is where we do the sticker. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but let's get those screws out and take a look. 4 screws, 2 brake lights. Next step was we're going to take out those 2 tiny screws, and then we're going to get the sticker on, and I'll show you that in a second. Take those 2 screws out, disassemble the light assembly, and I suggest keeping it upside down because in the other videos I've seen, there's a lot of parts in them. So once you got the tail light out, you're going to be greeted with this. Keep this back plate on for now. The sticker is going to go on the back edge of that. It's kind of hard to show with one hand. Right there. And there's the stickers we're going to need. So I'm going to attempt to do that. Okay. Fortunately, I've had a lot of sticker practice, as you can see. So this is what you want to do. Hold this together because you don't want all the pieces falling out, or let them all fall out if it's easier for you. But take the stickers and you're going to line it up right on the edge. Just like that. All right. Next, we're going to remove these white backs, and just like the front lights we assembled, same procedure. We're just going to remove the backs, get these on, use the little screws, reattach all this together with the light assembly in place. So next we can open our rear light assembly bag, and I'm sure just like the fronts, it's all one piece. So I'm going to go ahead and place this in and reassemble one of the buckets and show you what it looks like. So here's what you're greeted with. Oh, is this the wrong? No, that's the right way. That's all your little pieces inside I was talking about. Here is the LED. You're going to place this on the little pegs on there, and then you're just going to reverse re-put together the way you took it apart, except with this now in place of this. Reverse assembly complete. Wires sticking out, screws back in, and that is one rear assembled taillight. I will assemble the other one, and we will put these back in the body and get it routed like it's supposed to. 2 taillights complete. Now we reinstall them in the body using our screws we took out, and then these to me look like zip tie points, but we will look at our wiring diagram just to make sure. Put the buckets back in the body with the wires and LEDs installed. Rear lights installed. Now, lesson here, quick. Make sure to not screw up like I did. I ran out of zip ties. They only give you enough for the project. That's apparently clear because they're gone. I had to start dipping into my RC collection, which is a little bit bigger than the factory Traxxas ones. But I forgot one over here. You want to just zip tie this here on this little loop. You'll see it. There's another loop right there. There's a couple loops right there, and make sure to put the wire above the clipless body mount. So next we will be getting to the distribution block. Here is our distribution block with the breakaway cable. Per the instructions, we want to plug all the lights in first before mounting it to the side of the vehicle, which will be mounted with our 4 remaining screws. So first, they give you a diagram down here. There's 2 extra leads coming off right there. And you'll see the 2 little wire connectors there and there. And Traxxas is trying to make it as easy as possible to read this. They have color code with the wires and letter codes with the wires. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our distribution block and we're going to plug all the wires into it accordingly, per the instructions and per the color codes. Do not install it on the vehicle yet, as the instructions do not say so. I'm trying to follow the instructions to see if they have actually figured out the best possible method of installation. So I will show you what that looks like when I'm done. All right, here we go. Take your time. It is not worth breaking any wires or forcing anything. It will work eventually. Is it a royal pain in the butt? Yes. But just be patient. This is what the distribution block looks like with everything plugged in. From the back harness, there's a long K wire that comes up to the front harness here. The A, B, and C are on the back side, and the remaining are on the front side. Be very careful. Do not, oh, see, one already came out. Do note that each cable has a one orientation that it can go in. There is little block-offs in a part of the cable, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Make sure that goes to the bottom, and do not try to force anything into the distribution block. I'm showing you it as best I can. It's supposed to be a brown wire down there. It's hard to do. As you see, it already came out. I gotta get that back in, but that is what that looks like. So give me 1 minute. All right, next, flip your mirror in, tip the body on its side. Another little hint, these were falling out here. Push them in a little bit. Don't force them too hard, but force them a little bit. They do have a little ways to go into this block. So the next step is this is going to install like that. So we're going to use the 2 screws. Now all the screws remaining are all the same, and we're going to install this plate into these 2 holes there and there, and then we will be securing the distribution block with the remaining screws in that hole and that hole. But let's get this on using those 2 screws. Okay, so that's what that should look like installed. Lastly, we're going to use the 2 remaining screws and install the distribution block with those holes. Now, be careful not to pinch any of your wires there at all. And this, according to the instructions, is going to be the last step. And then we will be mounting the body. Now, here is the rock light wiring. That would actually be a cool addition. You'll have to add those into the distribution block and then throughout the truck in said locations. Maybe someday that'd be cool, but for now this will be all right. I kind of do want that though. That's pretty cool. Also, tip for you guys using just normal, this will not reach the body. You will have to find a normal or shorter Allen key to get at the side distribution block mount and distribution block screws themselves. So let's get that screwed down. Now, according to the instructions, that's it. So we're going to plug this in to that. But one little tip, this wire that comes over to this side, I didn't like that dangling too much. So take one little extra small zip tie that you have, and I would suggest putting that around the wire loom itself just to hold this wire in. Also, while you're screwing this down, make sure not to pinch any wires. It is worth being careful more than it is breaking anything, because breaking stuff, well, you know what kind of world you're going to be in then. So I'm hoping I plug this in and it all works. So there we go. The Traxxas TRX4 Bronco Light Kit installed. I am excited to see what this looks like. Let me clean up my area a little bit and we shall reveal what she looks like. One last note before we get started. Oh yeah, vehicle is oranger in real life if you didn't get that from my last video. 2, if you have the top qualifier, you're going to need a different cable. This is for the TQI, or you have the wireless module. You want to use the included cable. So, important note, I should say. With that, I do have this installed already. I can show you what that looks like. Here's the remote all filled out, full of batteries, which feels nice and heavy. And there is what the Bluetooth Link module looks like installed. Now, maybe I can link it to another phone and show you what's going on here and how to control stuff. But if not, we're just going to show you using the module itself with the instructions and what buttons to press to get what modes. But grand reveal coming up very shortly. Okay, I got the Triceratops out. Slow. She doesn't work very good, but I'm hoping it does good enough for a Traxxas Link demo. This will be the first time I power this car up at all. So you guys are here for the grand reveal. We'll show you this and we'll show you this. So Traxxas Link, you just want to take your remote, turn it around, press this Bluetooth button. You're going to need to grant a couple permissions on your phone though. Press that button, allow location, and allow Bluetooth. But as you can see, here we go. Remote's powered up, and we are connected. And it knows it's a Bronco. So this remote is coded to the Bronco, which is awesome. So a couple of things in the Link app, if I can get a place that's non-glary. Dashboard. Let's see. Oh, wow. So it knows it's the Bronco, and therefore it gives me the degrees. This is the inclinometer and stuff like that. So here's motor temps, top speed, and that would be voltage. And lights. Yep, it doesn't see that it's connected yet, but that is cool. So that is our dashboard, and you can edit all that. That thing has a lot more options than this. Wow. Okay, tachometer, temperature, voltage, speed. There, done. And there's a little tack, see our motor RPM, which is not a big deal. So that's our dashboard. Profiles, let's see what we got here. Oh, driver effect profiles, garage. Lights, model setup. Model setup is going to have, yep, all that kind of stuff. Telemetry setup. Oh, that's so cool. It's got a Bronco in the background. Model memory. Not sure what that does. Channel setup. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, okay. The fact that we're playing with little RC vehicles that link Bluetooth connected, even though it's a very, slow and needs update app, I am Bluetooth connected to the remote, which inputs command to the vehicle. I mean, this is crazy technology. It just blows me away that we're even here. And I even grew up in this age. So we go back to the garage. TSM. So this knob will probably be TSM while it's not on cruise control, but on cruise control on my Defender, this knob actually controls the speed at which cruise control is operating at. But this is a new beast. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Training mode, media, driver effects. Oh yes, this too. Oh, there's cruise control, yep. See that change there? That's how fast cruise control is gonna be going. That's awesome. That is so cool. What else? I want. Nope, go back. Training modes, garage, lights. Yeah, all right, let's get a battery, see what happens. So like I said, you guys are with me the very first time. I did the unboxing video, and then I am going to do this. These are used 3 cells that I showed you before with that thing, so don't mind the crappy battery. But it is a Traxxas battery, so somehow... Oh, maybe it's too big. It's an ID battery. All I need it to do is power this thing on. Now this is the high voltage, so it does say 3 cells, so I can use that 3 cells. So let's see. Plug this in, which I can't do with one hand. Okay, battery's plugged in. Remote's on. Traxxas Link, like I was supposed to show you in the last video, is connected. That's power the vehicle on for the first time. And there we go. Of course, you need a firmware update. That annoying servo. TSM receiver. Okay, this is that thing needed 2 of them and they take forever, so I guess I'll be back. That's what Traxxas Link app updates look like. It'll do this forever, and that'll slowly, and this will change. The TSM receiver, it's, taking care of things right now. But yeah. Oh yeah, another little tip. In my Defender, the suspension is uber bouncy, and you'll see that in my previous video. Why? Because I took the shocks out. You remove one of the O-rings from the bottom, and then you get rid of all the oil, put just enough oil to lubricate the inside, and the shocks will literally act like real car shocks. They will be so bouncy, there will be no dampening. I'd like to show you, but I don't want to take it down. Yeah, just go check out my previous video for that. Really cool mod, adds a lot of scale realism. Also, if you want to go scale realism, I suggest getting the Proline or the Axial BF Goodrich all-terrain tires, which are on my other TRX4 for realism. That would set this thing off even more. Now, I'm going to keep this stock, but that would make it look so realistic, it would be unbelievable. What other things? Oh yes, the rock lights. I do have those in my other truck. So if I really want to, since I never use that thing anyway, I could actually put them in here and just play with them in here because I won't use the other truck. But that truck also doesn't have much lights on it to begin with, although I think they would belong better on here, so... I might do a video of that someday, add the rock lights in, and you guys can see what that looks like. But beautiful body. We'll get that done, and then we'll go. So servo's just moved, and there's a lot of blinking going on. Just let it do its thing. So once upon a time, dinosaurs wandered the earth. And then icebergs came and meteors came. And they wiped out the dinosaurs, maybe not the icebergs. But then the icebergs melted After that, or before that, Neanderthals roamed the earth and then evolved into humans. Civilization continued, the Roman Empire happened again, and the entirety of the human race from year zero all the way to now and before year zero happened. This entire city was rebuilt just now in the time that it takes to have an updated truck. The entirety of civilization was rebuilt before the TRX4 2021 Ford Bronco was done updating. Story time with Andrew. I just got done putting my muskets away. I thought the British were coming, but the update finished, so there's no need to panic. All right, I'm sure it's going to need another one, but let's try this now. You guys have waited long enough. Let's plug it in and see what we got. All right, here she is. Much different color in real life, but beautiful. Those halos are awesome. Yeah, baby. Okay. So, out of the box, the rear taillights seem to not be activated. So we're going to take the cover off and show you how to do that via the module. But the low beams on the Traxxas Link app, they work. And the high beams, yes. Beautiful. And this is just the lights from the dashboard page. Oh, takes a little bit to update. Turn the brights off. And they go back to halo. That is awesome. Okay. Back here, what do we got out of the box? Forward. Brake lights. Yes, and reverse. Reverse lights. Absolutely awesome. Okay. And you going forward again. The turn signals, it says in the manual they say they should be activated automatically, but they aren't. So let's pop the body off. All right, trying to do this as best as possible so you guys can see. Here is the module. So it says the turn signals, press the signal button twice fast, and the signals should blink twice rapidly on each side to signal that they're on, and they should blink once rapidly to signal that they're off via the signal button quick press twice. There we go. Activated. Okay, the turn signals are activated. Okay, press signal button once and the hazards should flash. There we go. That is too cool. Yep, and look at the shape of the light in there. That's awesome. And press it once again to go back to normal mode. Turn signals should be activated. So now with the mode button, we want to get it so these rear lights are running all the time. Okay, so it doesn't look like they can be on all the time with the halos lit up, but if we press mode once, that puts our low beams on, which in turn turns on our rear lights. Beautiful. Press mode again. We still have rear lights. And now we have the high beams activated. Press mode once more and we return to daytime operation. So, let's take a look. There we go. Somehow I pressed number 2 on the app and it flipped these two switches on. I turn this switch off. We're back to daytime mode and The rear lights are running. That is awesome. That is so cool. I love that so much. All right, let's put the truck down. Diffs should be unlocked. Oh man, I miss crawling. Brake. Reverse. Oh, turn signal. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Brake lights. And reverse lights. Kind of hard to see. Turn signals activated. Oh yeah, 3-cell and high gear. Steering trim's a little off. Very nice. All right, let's turn off some lights. Now, is that not cool as hell? Oh yeah, baby. That is awesome. Brake lights and reverse lights. All right, let's take a look. Here's the normal halos. Here we're gonna go to low beam. Low beam lights are activated. Here's from daytime running to low beam. Daytime running lights activated. Low beam. Oh, that's so cool. High beam. Whoa. Wow. Now, is that not lit? Auxiliary lights. I'm sure those are the rock lights. What a difference, though. Holy cow. Turn off the high beams. My camera even has to readjust daytime. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so Traxxas Link app, that's what you can do, and tune everything else too. Halos, low beam to high beam. That is crazy. Low beam and halo. Wow, that's awesome. All right, let's take a little drive. Okay. So here we are. Dark area, yes. Very bright Traxxas Link. Turn signal. Brake light. Reverse light. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but it's very cool. Open this. So here we go again. We're gonna go halo, low beam, and then high beam. So we are on daytime running lights right now. God, I should put the rock lights in this. I might do that. Low beam. There's your low beam. Lights up pretty good. High beam. Insane. Wow. That's crazy. High beams. There's your low beam. And daytime running light. Okay. Daytime running, low beam. There's your low beams. Here's the high beam. Maybe. There we go. Yeah. Oh, you guys have no idea what this looks like in real life. That is so cool. That is so cool. God, I gotta put the rock lights on this. I don't even use the other truck. This thing with rock lights, oh man. Low beam and back to daytime running. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, reward has paid off. Absolutely. Super happy with it. Oh yeah, we haven't even looked at. None of it's really running. The RPM. Oh, the clinometer's working, but temperature... Maybe it's not even hot enough to read on the gauge yet. Voltage is not working though, that's interesting. The clinometer I know is. Yep, see it moves there a little bit. But yeah. Traxxas Link with the lights. Back home. There it is. Beautiful Ford Bronco. Hope you enjoyed that one. All right, really hope you enjoyed that one. There is the Traxxas Ford Bronco 2021 edition. Absolutely beautiful with the light kit installed. I'm probably going to put the rock lights on it eventually. As you can see, the body is beautifully glowing off my amazing Christmas lights. Traxxas Link app demo we gave. Go to dashboard, There's the dashboard you get stock with the Bronco. It's different for the UDR, and the UDR lights are stupid bright as well, but this is awesome. Click on lights. There we go. Traxxas TRX4 Ford Bronco. Like you've never seen it before. Absolutely amazing, beautiful light kit, amazing truck. I couldn't be happier. I hope you enjoyed that one. We'll catch you in the next one. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know any suggestions you have, anything you think. Let me know if you have this truck, and if you like it a lot, leave a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you in the next one. All right, hope you enjoyed.